Simply Defensive brings you the industry's top practitioners, innovators, and leaders to inform, educate, and entertain. Join us as we unlock the secrets of defensive cybersecurity. Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Simply Defensive. I'm Josh Mason, and with me, as always, Wade.
What's
Wells.
up?
And today we've got with us David Perez. David, introduce yourself to the happy folks.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm David Perez. So I actually got started doing cybersecurity in the Navy. Was on a red team doing that, and then ended up getting out and coming to work for VH.
Very nice. I think I know some of the folks who were on the red team around a similar time.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of you Navy folks.
Don't drop
good
names,
group.
right? Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next thing you know, there's a
Right.
government agent on the foot of both of your doors.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I already had it once, and I don't need it again. Anyway, that's a different story. So how'd you make the jump from red to blue then?
Well, so I got an internship as I was getting out of the Navy, basically. And so, and working in the SOC for BHIS. And yeah, I had no prior experience, but a lot of the training that I got in the Navy was, I'm very well-rounded, I would say.
Nice.
And, yeah, and to be honest, the red teaming really applies really well to the blue team side, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we've talked to a few like pen testers or red teamers who have been integrated a lot with the SOC, like Ashley and a few others. So we get that. I get that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ashley's a SOC mom. We already know.
Official SOC mom.
Yeah, official SOC mom. She'll hear
Yeah.
this and hate it. But anyways, there's like a special thing for the military when they're going directly out and they're going to go work for someone and they work for them for free pretty much. What's that called?
Oh,
Skill bridge, right?
Skill bridge, yeah.
Skill
That's
bridge,
what
right?
that's what I did.
That's what you did? Okay.
Yeah.
How is going through that? Did you feel like I've heard both like good things and bad things about skill bridge, and
I mean, I can't imagine not having gone through it. It's
Yeah.
a really amazing opportunity, honestly, because it helps when I don't really have a lot of typical qualifications and certifications to put on my resume. So it's like, yeah, I went through this training course in the military. It was pretty awesome, you know. So it's hard to say like it translates super well. So it was nice to be able to get my foot in the door somewhere where I could be like, look, I do know what I'm talking about. Like I know, like I do have like some background actually. I don't have the normal certs and everything, but I have experience and it applied really well. So yeah, help me.
My situation was similar. I did a skill bridge internship with 6th Gen, a pen testing company out near me in Maryland. And while I didn't do any of the pen testing stuff, I worked with them doing training stuff and project management stuff that really fell into my wheelhouse. But how was it doing skill bridge as like your first SOC job? What was the expectation there? Was it day one, you're hitting alerts and working tickets?
Yeah. I mean, you know, after I got like onboarded, I got all my accounts and stuff like that. It was crazy how much faster it is, you know, going to the civilian side. Just everything takes forever in the military. But it took me like 2 weeks to get all my accounts made and all my accesses set up and stuff like that. And so that was kind of a shock to me, I guess. But yeah, I pretty much jumped right into alerts and doing investigations and stuff like that. And it took me about 2 months to really get the grasp of it. And I would feel like I did pretty well. They made me a detection engineer. So yeah, that's when I ended up getting hired on as.
Nice.
I was about to say Hayden kind of claims that he's a detection engineer now too. So
Yeah.
But I knew you held the title officially.
Right. We have a few people. We're bringing more people on actually too. So yeah, I was like the first official detection engineer. But there's for sure people before me that came and made rules and was like looking at stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Is it cool to be part of a growing team in that way? Like, do you find now you're leading things? Like, since you were the first official detection engineer?
Yeah, I do. So yeah, I mean, it allowed me to have a lot of input on like how we were doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was really nice. But it's the first time I've seen the SOC side environment, so it was really. I guess that was what made it really difficult. Like I don't know what a typical environment looks like. Like
Yeah.
I was talking with Wade a while those Hack and Best, and like trying to pick his brain a little bit, ask him like what his like normal day looks like because sometimes I tell people like I'm basically just winging it like all the time, trying to figure out what I'm.
That's totally normal. I found that like the
Yeah,
past couple networks I've been in, and they let just like they're like, hey, here's a login, just like make us secure. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Like, you want to make detections, go make detections. If you find stuff that's broken, figure out how to fix it. I'm like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right, like having a sandbox of freedom is both like great and also bad at the same time. Like you're just like
yeah,
I always equivalent to playing Grand Theft Auto, which is completely off the wall. Like you don't have to do the quest in Grand Theft Auto. You can like just straight off and go do whatever the heck you want. And
Oh, okay.
I used to get bored because I'm like, I don't want to do the quest. I'll go do all this other stuff. And there's too many options. I need like Halo. I need like Rails sometimes. Otherwise, I
yeah,
won't do the quest.
yeah, absolutely. Yes,
What are we doing here?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people can't stand it. We've had people that came on and, everything's so free form here, I feel like, and, we've had people just leave. They wanted more structure. And that's
Mhm.
understandable. I get
Mhm.
it.
That's
Yeah.
it's pretty
Imagine
normal
coming
for
from
a
the
SOC, right? Like,
yeah, but coming from the military where like your whole day could be so structured, even if you're not doing anything, like you still have to be
Right.
there at a certain time, wearing a certain thing, ready to do
Oh,
this,
yeah.
that, and the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
massive change for me. Yeah, 180-degree turn for sure. I always tell people I never really didn't really do I did pretty well, I did well in the military, I made rank and stuff, but I never feel like I ended up fitting in, just it's not my type of environment, I guess, but, I was in for 14 years and just
Yeah.
didn't really feel like I ever,
I didn't
feel like I
realize
could
you
do
were in
pretty
that
well here.
long.
Yeah.
I know a lot of former military cyber folks who felt the same. Just like, oh, this is cool, but
Yeah.
there's like so much like facade of structure and realism.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I just want to do the stuff.
Yeah, so what did you do, Josh? How long were you in for?
I was a pilot. I did like 11 years. There's a other episode I didn't
That's
just.
so cool, though.
You can talk about it,
know.
Josh. Go for it.
We
haven't
should
talked about it in a
definitely
while.
spend
Yeah.
some time together and just bullshit on that. But all these people, they know me.
Yeah, okay.
We want to get to know you.
I'd say I on purpose, I didn't, like, watch any videos because I wanted to, like, make sure I had some
I
questions.
sent you
Yeah.
videos so you know what you're getting into. God,
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't
kinda
watch any of them, man.
I didn't wanna be overprepared, you know?
I guess I'll give you that.
That's
give you
good.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like our show is way better if like we're just able to pre-show banter it like
Yeah.
off the cuff.
I didn't wanna, like, to come in here and, like, overthink what I was gonna be like at.
It feels so
But
awkward when that happened. Like
is that how you work
scripted.
is that how you work all these detections? You don't think about it. You just write some logic.
Yeah, I
and
just
you
go in and just do
press
everything by,
go,
like, feel, yeah.
right?
It's
Like
all a vibe check.
false
Vibe check.
positives. Who cares? We're just
Yeah.
pressing go. Like you guys are gonna have to learn today.
This rule feels really good, though.
How'd you become the engineer guy? Is it because of like your background doing red team and looking at Intel a bunch?
Well, I always tell people, I got really good at making like rule filters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And, honestly, like that was like a big thing for me. I'm like, I don't think this rule should be like alerting on this. It's too noisy. Yeah, like I said, I think my background helped a lot. For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd definitely say like with your background, right? You would know if you were filtering something, if that's like over filtering, right? You're making the rule useless at some point. So
Yeah.
and usually with most like entry level people, they're just like, yeah, just get rid of this executable. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, this logic is only firing on that executable.
Mhm.
Like, what are you doing? Like, this alert is useless beforehand.
Yeah. I think it's, I probably had about 6 years of experience prior to coming here.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think like a lot of that, what that built up for me was like just good judgment when I'm looking at logs and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I think it's a really good qualification for a detection engineer, actually, just having good judgment, being able to be like, I think this looks like something crucial that we should alert on probably. And maybe this was noise, and a lot of it's just all judgment calls. And
Yeah.
so,
I've always thought like pen testing and red teaming is really just blue team support, which is doesn't make me a lot of friends.
That I was about to say
pen testing red team
that,
space.
that sounds like one of my theories.
right. Well, I think that's true too. And I guess I always thought that even when I was on the red team, like, yeah, of course we're doing pen tests, we're red teaming so we can train the blue team. That's like what we're supposed to do, right?
There is no
Yeah.
red team. There is no red team. There's only blue, right?
Yes. We're all blue.
Shade of blue that looks like red.
Yeah.
So since you asked me what a life in my day was, what's actually describe what a life in your day is right now as the detection engineer?
Day in your life.
Day in your life,
Yeah.
life in the day. Yeah, you could tell like it's the end of the day on a Friday.
That was a tough one. Like I feel like we'll constantly have going back to filtering and stuff. Like we have such a huge backlog of filter requests. So I mean that takes up so much of my time. But I mean, right for the last 6 months as well, though, we've been trying to implement risk-based alerting. We talked about this while it was Hacking Fest a little bit.
You can go into it. What is risk-based alerting? Go for it.
Yeah.
So it's basically where you stack rules and like lower risk based or lower risk score rules so that you're not getting flooded constantly all the time. But the idea is that you'll have higher fidelity alerts. And stuff like that. So instead of getting an alert in for one rule, it's like, oh no, like these 5 alerts actually alerted on this host or this username. And so you end up having to go investigate more and more thoroughly for something that might have a risk, basically. And for us to get to the point where we can do that, we've had to go through, we have like 1,000 probably. And we've had to go through and reassess those and rescore those and see which ones are broken too. Cause I mean, that's pretty common. Well, we have like plenty of broken rules.
Do you find you have to change the risks as per customer, or is it the same for all customers?
Yeah. It's something I was wondering about.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that it's really per customer. Actually,
Right.
I think it's more so, a rule. Like you get a noisy rule and it's like,
Yeah.
So one for example, one that we had to look at recently was .cmd files being created in the environment. And it's like, it's really, you'd be surprised how common this is and how common like the underlying software and operating system makes these, which by the way is submitted by a red teamer.
I was about to say, I don't think I've ever seen a .cmd file made, which is I'm going to have to go write another detection for.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
interesting.
I mean, our best rules, which we still alert on, we actually don't have every single rule, not part of RBA. Our best ones tend to catch, true positives pretty commonly across all organizations. They're like the same.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you all keep track of your rules? Do you do it in the tool, or do you have like a separate repo? I know I've watched Wade's talk on like DevOps cycle for detection. Do you guys do anything like that? Now you've got a team. So how do you know if like you're making rules together or like if you're both like tuning things against one another?
So for the detection engineers, we keep track of those in the sim. But I know like our engineers, platform engineers, they keep track of these in GitLab as well, just to keep track of changes and stuff.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's my understanding, and we'll see how well I listened to Wade's talk. Some of the tools, you've only got so much space to describe what the rule or the detection is actually doing or looking for. Do you guys have like a workaround for that, or like your own shorthand?
How big how much can you fit in Elastic in the description?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I've not found that I've been limited by this.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. I mean, our biggest limiting factor with Elastic is just capabilities. Like you can't, for example, one problem that I've come across with Elastic is that like you can't compare fields.
Hmm.
You know, logs, which is,
Really?
it would be really nice if you could, but you can't be like, if this field says this and then this field also says this, do this basically. But
Okay.
there might be
Oh.
some workaround, but you can't do it directly.
Okay. You can definitely do that in
Interesting.
Splunk.
Yeah. Good things about Splunk. I've never
It's
used
just
it myself.
It's just expensive. The big thing with like the detection link size, like that's coming off more of like EDR products and other like security products. Most of the SEMs I have found are very, very easy to customize, at least with like the description, stuff like that. But
Hmm.
in the long run, like I write like those ADS reports that are like 2,000 words long about every single detection. And it gets,
Wow.
it's a little bit rough, but it makes it so anybody can read a detection and know exactly what's going on and how to work it pretty much.
Huh.
I also automate.
That sounds useful. That sounds really
Yeah,
useful,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
It's a good talk.
Yeah, it's a good talk. It's a good talk. I'm actually talk to Hayden about it. Like
Okay.
Hayden is literally going to be the episode before this.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was supposed to be someone in the middle, but we messed up. So now there isn't, but it's the YouTube back together, so it's going to look like we favor BHIS a lot.
So, okay. I was actually going to say, it's funny because I was thinking about that before this. I'm like, man, they should really talk to Hayden. He's such an interesting guy, man.
I hit you up before I hit him up, and then he just took forever to schedule a date, and then he just happened to schedule a date before you. So that worked out really well.
That's funny. I actually felt like I took a while too. I was honestly a little nervous. Just
fine. You need to be on more webcasts. So what is your normal like process for detection building? Like all of a sudden like a red teamer comes in and says like, hey, here's this TAC. We want you to detect .cmd files. What do you start with? How do you go about it?
okay. So yeah, we get suggestions. A lot of my rules that I've looked at in the past have actually been like customer requests, which don't always turn out to be very good. Some of them are though. Some of them are like one I'm looking at right now is actually it's on Okta high like anomalous login, and it's kind of a customer request rule, so that's been really good. But honestly, our best ones have come from actually catching bad actors and stuff. So, anyways, yeah. So that's how it starts out. We get a request or an idea or something like that. We've got some kind of indicator of compromise on a real world incident.
Well,
And yeah, we kind of start from there. And then for me personally, I start going in and digging into the logs and seeing like, what else, if I were to make this rule, like what else would it be catching? Like how common is it? Like, is it high fidelity? For sure, anything that I make that I want it to be, as high fidelity as possible. Obviously, I think we all want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like a threat hunting hypothesis. Is that?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to that actually too. I was just thinking about that before this call because I was working on a rule, and I'm like, this is basically threat hunting, looking for indicators and trying to make a rule out of it. Just automated threat hunting, basically.
Yeah. Right.
You're gonna make a bunch of people angry saying that. There's gonna be a bunch. As someone who has like argued for and against both of those,
gosh,
you're gonna get
okay.
Reddit's gonna hate you.
I'm totally gonna have to watch some of your other videos after this.
No, I doubt anyone will ream you for it. Like the big difference between like threat hunt, at least I see with like a threat hunting hypothesis, right? Is at the end of the day with threat hunting, you're not trying to build a detection. You're just trying to like say like malicious threat actors are using .cmd files to maintain persistence, right? So that would be my hypothesis. So I'm going to figure out, okay, where are all the CMD files that are somewhere that can maintain persistence and how would they do it? And then most of the time when you do that, you'll come across stuff that you can't build detections for, right? Like you said, there's a bunch of programs that are using .cmd files. And the point of it though is to fulfill the hypothesis, whereas the detection part, the point of it is to then build something to detect that and make sure that there isn't false positives so the triage analyst or the detect analyst doesn't burn out. That's
Yeah, that's such a
right.
huge concern. Absolutely. Yeah. That's anytime I make any rule, that's probably one of my biggest concerns. Like, I don't want to burn out the analyst because, I mean, I feel like anyone that's gone in,
Yeah, we've all been in the
in
SOC. We've
there.
all been that same
Yeah.
freaking alert that fires over and over again. You know, it's a false positive just by
Yeah.
looking at it, and
Yeah.
nobody's tuned it.
Yeah.
Like, who wrote this?
Yeah.
Man,
Why did they do that?
Yeah. It's funny. I actually, sometimes I look back at some of the rules that I first made when I first started doing detection engineering. This was a rule. It's not a good one, but
You're like, sorry guys.
yeah, I'm like, I feel really bad about this.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. This is Future Josh with a message from this season's sponsor.
Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com.
do you have any like go-to websites or like resources you use for detection engineering stuff? Or do you just like straight like free ball it?
Mostly freeballing it. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
for
all right.
sure. I mean, I read a lot of documentation, I'll say, but
Okay.
Microsoft's documentation is not great. I think most people.
Yeah, it could either be then you you're reading this documentation on a certain executable, and then you realize, oh, it has the ability to grab stuff off the internet. And you're like, that wasn't in the documentation, right? Like,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like most time that's probably the hardest part about making a good rule is like you just got to get into the logs and just let them wash over. Just see what you
Yeah.
can find.
Be like, what is unique in here that'll find this without setting everything off? That accurate?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I've taught parts of this before, but it was other people's content that I watched. So taught some of the DCO classes at DeCita or like CPT members.
Oh wow.
And so like I remember pieces and parts about threat hunting and setting up rules, but I've never actually done that job. That's
cool.
the fun of being an instructor.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but surely you learn quite a bit though too as you're learning how to teach the material, right? I would imagine.
Totally.
Yeah.
But there's something different from understanding it enough to get the entry level person doing it versus literally it's your job. And so I wouldn't have anything to teach to you. Instead, I would turn around and we'd have long discussions and I'd try to pull as much out of your brain and then decide how to teach that to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's where my brain head goes.
And I think for me personally too, this is probably one of my biggest weaknesses. I actually, I don't have any training in detection engineering at all, really. And I wish I did. Like I kind of just
you're fine. There isn't any training in detection
That's
engineering.
what I tell people.
That's the trick.
This is what I
What cert do you get?
Yeah, I'm like, how?
Here's a
There's training out there, I guess. It's honestly it's one of the most interesting and kind of challenging jobs that I think I've had because I really feel like what makes a good detection engineer is like the culmination of all of your how can you use all better insight?
yeah.
Yeah, real quiet there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Put that mic a little closer.
Yeah,
we probably
there
should
we
have
go.
told you that very earlier in the podcast, but oh well.
Yeah.
It was auto gaining pretty fine for a while.
It was. For me as like someone who's like aging, I feel like I'm middle age as like a security person. I'm not a grizzled gray
Yeah.
hair, but like I'm
Same.
getting there. Where I'm finding like the hardest part for me now is trying to disseminate my knowledge to the next person via that detection engineer, right? Writing that description or making sure that this is critical and this is why. Because I've had detections I've built where like I'm talking to the analyst who's looking at this and he's like, oh yeah, I just look at this one field and if it says that, I know it's a false positive. I'm like, no, that's the wrong field.
Yeah.
Like, you need to log into this other tool and then go look at all this. And then and he's like, oh, and I'm like, yes. Oh, all right. We're going to look over all these alerts right now and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So that is, for me, that is the hard part, but I definitely agree with you. The overall knowledge and experience really comes together. I'm also like very interested from your experience with like red teaming beforehand, rather than being that like pure SOC analyst, like how I was most of the time. Right. I think that gives you a lot more knowledge in a particular sector that I'm missing out
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I think. I honestly, it's something I think about too. Because I mostly spent time doing pen testing on Windows machines, and there's it. A lot of my experience carries over from that. It's. I guess it's hard to really put myself in somebody's shoes that doesn't have that experience, though, and like, yeah, this is what you're missing, like this knowledge, and this training and everything like that. So,
Yeah. Do you find yourself thinking about, like, if I had to get in here and like in this way, now how would I catch myself?
That's a great
If
question.
I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, I think that probably too is the biggest piece that does translate over. Is like, well, if I was in here, I was trying to do anything else, like what would I do next? How would I exploit this? How would I move forward? What would logically would be the most important thing for me to do with this? That's probably been the most valuable piece of my.
That's actually the secret for like the military on the defense side, is thinking about the attacker mindset. Like, how would I attack this? Okay, now how do I defend it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was drilled into us. Even if I flew C-130s, we didn't really attack things, but you still thought about, I don't know, just generally that mindset. And then when I learned cyber in the Air Force, it was very similar. I wasn't an officer, so we just learned everything. But even that initial training, the idea was think like an attacker, now think like a defender. And I don't know if everyone else gets that same sort of process.
Yeah. I get that. And I think that's kind of what I'm talking about too. Like being able to put yourself in a person's shoes, that, an attacker's shoes, and think like that is super important. It's not like, I don't know if you've heard, like they say that people who are really good, like people that come into cyber with like philosophy degrees tend to do really well. I don't know if you've heard that before, but
there is a lot of people with political science degrees.
Yeah.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, that.
They like to let the computer science folks stick with just developing insecure apps, and then we'll clean it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Don't worry, CISA will tell them to make it in secure code.
Right. Seems like
we're just trying to trigger all the trolls this episode.
We are.
Come at us.
Yeah, great.
Engagement.
Yeah.
So I will admit, like, I definitely think about like how an attacker would execute this, and then I think about how an attacker would bypass my detection. Like where in this, if I'm like building a detection that's based off command line, all right, what if they use different variables, right? Like what if they make a variable for this, and then my detection is mute, right? That's what I'm usually think of. I'm not usually thinking of the attack after, or like the pivot, right? I'm imagining where this attack is in the kill chain and trying to think where we would see it, but not necessarily what the next step in the kill chain is, which is something I probably should do more.
Interesting.
I say kill chain, but whatever.
And maybe this just applies more to investigations as well, because I still definitely find myself doing in-depth investigation. I'm sorry, I gotta close my door 1 second.
Oh, you're all good.
No worries. We understand.
As two fathers.
Yeah. I've got this puppy that keeps wandering around at my feet.
Yeah. Sorry about
I'm just hoping I don't have to clean something up. And
kids are kids. We all have them.
Sadly. Yeah.
Remote work.
Right. I love it. I really do, though.
Ups and downs. It's lots of ups. Every once in a while, some downs. Yeah.
But as a detection engineer, I find myself still doing a lot of in-depth investigations, and I would say like that mindset definitely applies probably more to do that than making rules, because I get what you're saying too, where you want to look like, okay, in the attack chain, like what is this rule looking for? What does it apply to? what am I trying to like target here? Because that's really with the rules, that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to like target something very specific.
Do you do anything to like keep yourself sharp? I find like as a detection engineer, I usually have to read a lot. That's like, I know you do that, but are you doing CTFs at all or anything like that? Like what's outside training? And if you're not doing any outside training, that's okay. Like you have a healthier
Yeah.
personal life than I do.
So no, I really I don't outside of work, especially because kids,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
get off work and I gotta go pay attention to them, give my wife a break for the day.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
But I mean, like as far as like during work hours and stuff like that, yeah, I so one thing I've actually started helping out with recently is doing IR, and I've already learned so much just looking at incidents like that. So, but I constantly am trying to learn from other people in areas that I don't have experience. Yes, I would.
That step between
Nice.
like that detection engineer to IR is definitely like a big one
Yeah.
when like all these new artifacts come into play, right? And
Yeah.
volatility much comes into play where like
Oh
these
yeah.
artifacts can be easily manipulated, deleted, or just gone.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That I will like I've talked about this before that I've never wanted to be an IR person, surely because of the on-call and stuff like that.
Yes.
But a lot of the work does get fun sometimes. Like you do dig into it. A lot of the good CTFs have that type of stuff in.
Right. I
Yeah.
really have always enjoyed doing these IR stuff in CTF.
That's why I felt like detection engineer. You like ride that like you're like right there. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, that's the thing where I'm getting my hands wet doing some doing some IR stuff, and man, I like to think that's where I would like to go to, but the guy that this mentoring me, Patterson Cake,
Yeah.
awesome, dude. It's probably honestly one of the best things for me right now is getting to work with Patterson. He's such an amazing guy. But he just is telling me like, IR will chew you up and spit you out because it is not an easy job, especially
Yeah.
because of the on-call stuff.
Thank you for
Yeah, I think of like
confirming.
Yeah.
the folks like Hal and Eric who like have been doing IR for such a long time. They make it sound exciting and yet not like something that sounds like something you want to do all the time.
And they kind of are tired of it too. Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
Right?
We all want to have good work-life balance for sure.
Exactly. We like to ask at the end of the podcast, like, what is one thing that that you would want to tell someone who's like thinking of getting into blue teaming? What's one thing that they should do or look at, or what's one piece of advice that you've got for someone in this career?
Man, that is such a good question. It comes up all the time, and it's such a difficult question to answer too. Because, for me, I got in through the military, basically,
Mhm.
and I don't know if everybody wants to go join the military just to go get a job doing blue teaming or red teaming or whatever it is that you want to do. But so I don't think anyone's path is the same, honestly.
Mhm.
But I guess my advice would be just get your foot in the door however you can, even if that's doing like help desk work. I do know a lot of people that have done help desk work, and that's how they got over into doing blue team. So
Yeah.
that would be my advice. Really, just start do something. Just do anything. You don't even have to like go to school. Like obviously, it's going to help, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like it. No, like you need to get your foot in the door in absolutely anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I think the other thing you
Job's not going to just
that's super important is everyone's path is different, right? Like especially
Yeah.
in cybersecurity where it's not like a doctor where the path to become a doctor is clear and set and you can see it.
Right.
Cybersecurity, it's everyone just like falling into it, like coming
Yeah.
at it from all different angles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's not one path.
But I like that. Do something.
Do something.
Like there's a lot of folks who it feels like they're waiting for a cybersecurity job to like dive at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's not going to happen, especially, the job market seems to be getting a lot tougher right now as well. So people are interested in hiring other people that show initiative and show some interest in doing the work that they want to be getting in. I guess also in your free time, like start doing capture the flags and stuff like that. Anything that's going to like widen your breadth of knowledge and experience is going to help.
Nice. Sorry, my dog was bugging me.
That's okay.
So
My
she wanted to
kid
be
was
held.
still screaming downstairs. So.
We can't hear him now, so it's cool. Just
That's good.
Yeah. That's fine for us. Well, thank you so much for joining us, David.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's good to be here.
Yeah. We'll catch up. Are you going to be at Mile High in February?
No, I probably won't be. Sorry.
Okay.
I was about to say this will probably air after that.
Yeah, this will probably be after Mile High. We're ahead.
Yeah, dude,
Yes.
we're way ahead. If anyone wants to like hook up with you or talk to you about stuff, what's the best way to get in contact? And if you don't want people to get in contact with you, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people feel free to reach out to me for sure. I would say LinkedIn
Okay.
is going to be my best one.
We'll put a link in the description.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
I
already
promise.
have- yeah,
I'll
I-
actually
I
put one
already-
in there.
I already have your link. You're good. Don't worry.
There you go.
Excellent. Sweet. Thank you everyone for watching and joining us. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and join us again next week.
See ya.